Always prepare your downside. As traders, the only thing we have full control of is risk management. Nothing more, nothing else. Set daily stop loss limits. Protect yourself from excessive losses. Once you reach this limit, stop trading for the day. Come back fresh tomorrow. Never risk more than you can afford. We need to remember that trading is a game of probabilities, not certainties. No one knows what will happen next on the 5 minute, 15 minutes, daily, weekly, month. No matter how good your strategy is, you will face losing trades. By setting daily stop loss limits, you allow yourself to manage risk and avoid excessive losses. You can calculate your daily loss limits based on your trading capital, risk management strategy, or your trading style. For example, if your trading capital is $10,000 and you risk 1% per trade, your daily stop loss limits will be $100. Once you reach this limit, stop trading. Close the computer, come back fresh tomorrow. Stick to your trading plan, stick to your strategy, stick to your own rules. Don't let emotions take over and convince you to keep on trading. Accept the loss, come back fresh tomorrow. Remember, consistency is the key to become successful trader. Hey there, I'm here from FIBONACCI'S.com here with the weekly market recap. Please hit the like, subscribe, share with friends, and without any further ado, let's see the charts. Let's see what SPY and Friends brought us in the past week. Nothing much. Inside candle on the weekly, 445 to the upside. As we can see, very tough resistance in the past 4 weeks. 435 to the downside is the support. Long continuation above 445 towards 457. Look left. Why 457? If we look left, we can see that over here it was a very important level of support, broke to the downside, then it became a very tough resistance. So with high probability, next resistance above the 444 will be the 457. Above it, we are heading towards the 473 and the 480 all-time highs. Always follow price, use levels to manage your risk to the downside and for future support and resistance for price action. QQQ, same thing. 372 to the upside. Very tough resistance in the past 4 weeks. Now, if we can take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high, we can clearly see 357 to the downside is the support. Below it, we will go towards 347. Long continuation above 372 towards 390 and then towards 410 all-time highs. Dow Jones, as we can see, we don't even need Fibonacci. 347 to the upside is the resistance. 335 is the support. Below 335, we are heading towards 326. Long continuation above 347 towards this trend line over here. Now we can take our friend Fibonacci, swing low, swing high. Above 347 to the upside, we are heading towards 365. Above it, 390. And as you saw, Fibonacci gave us also all-time highs on the Dow. All we need to do is learn how Fibonacci acts as a support, resistance, and future roadmap for price action. Swing low, swing high. Fibonacci give us this. We can take also from here. We'll get more resistance levels to the upside. 356, 368, and then 382, meeting this white trend line. Check the links in the description below if you want to become your own indicator only by understanding in-depth candlestick analysis and the relationship with Fibonacci levels and trend lines. IWM, we can clearly see one 80 to the downside, 190, 191 to the upside. We can be more accurate. This is our swing low, swing high, 187 to the upside, 179 to the downside. Nothing much on IWM in the past 4 weeks, 5 weeks already inside this small box. Long continuation above 187 towards 192 and then 200. Bitcoin on the weekly, 1 day and a half until this weekly candle will close. Doji, second doji in a row on the weekly, which means indecision. We can take Fibonacci from swing low, swing high. Now we can clearly see 27. We can also take Fibonacci from here. It all matters of what is your time frame that you're trading upon. Swing low, swing high, 31,500 to the upside, 28,500 to the downside. Below it, we are heading back to the 26,300. Ethereum, still below the 1950, bulls are trying with all their power to stay inside this channel, but it seems like bulls of Ethereum are losing power below 1811, in my opinion 1634, and then back to the 1380. Above 1950, 1 week, we need 1 week closing above the 1950, then we will head towards 2141 and then towards 28. But for now, Ethereum, as you can see, moving sideways since April. Oil on the weekly, we clean the chart. No indicators, no Fibonacci, no lines, no trend lines. Let's see what the candles, what story they tell us. We can clearly see that the 67 to the downside is a very interesting level of support. Now, as we can see once again, oil is trying to bounce. Where is the next resistance? Look left. We can clearly see 75 is the next resistance. Look left. All this area, resistance, resistance, support. It was support, 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 resistance. And now, since May, it's resistance. So with high probability, this 75 will be a very tough resistance. So I'm waiting for a day or two, breaking above, preferably 2 or 3 days, above this 75, and then where oil might be heading next. Look left. All this area of the 80 and 83, all this area, very tough resistance. Since November of 2022, each and every time, price of oil tried, failed, tried, failed. So, if we are going long above the 75, we need to consider that high probability this area will not give up so easily. This is our risk management to the future only by looking left and listening to the story that candlestick analysis tells us. Natural gas and the weekly, same thing. We can clearly see that all this area is a very important level of support, and all this area over here is resistance. So we can take this box, resistance. So basically, net gas is moving sideways since January earlier this year between the 228, 29 and the 190 to the downside, 196. Long, in my opinion, a week or two closing above this area. And now we can take Fibonacci because Fibonacci will tell us where price might be heading next. We can take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high. Doesn't really matter. As you can see, Fibonacci gave us this area of the 2.9. Breaking up and above. Next will be the 3666. Above it, 444. Look left. Why 366? It was support over here. Resistance, resistance, resistance. 444. Support, resistance. 540, support, resistance. We don't need to look left. Fibonacci is the FSD for technical analysis. Gold, we had uptrend, retracement, 618 level, 2 consecutive dojis, 618 Fibonacci retracement level, 2 dojis, 1911 needs to hold, long above the 1943, then we have 1975 and then 2023. SOXX on the weekly, nothing much, as you can see, between the 473 and the 517, and in the past 4 weeks, 490 to the downside, 517 to the upside, but overall, SOXX on the long term, since October, uptrend. Apple closing the week with an inside candle. Now we can take Fibonacci swing low, swing high. 182 was previous all-time highs. So now it becomes the next support that needs to hold. Below it, we have all the levels to the downside. We also have a slight gap at the 176 over here. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Will Apple fill this gap during 2023, or are we heading up and above towards 235? My opinion, I will not let you know because it's not relevant. If you find anything helpful until now, leave a like, subscribe, share with friends, will be much appreciated. Help me grow this channel, help others understand they can become their own indicators, stop following others. Meta and the weekly, no need Fibonacci. We can clearly see that all this area of the 290, very tough resistance. Why? Look left. Resistance. Now, once again, resistance. 2 consecutive dojis on the weekly, which means we might heading for some kind of a pullback on Meta, which will be perfectly healthy, because Meta, I'm not talking since November, I'm talking since February, earlier this year, Meta ran 72% in 5 months. It's crazy bull run. Pullback will be healthy. Bulls needs to take breath before the next leg up. So we can take Fibonacci, and Fibonacci will let us know where Meta might be heading next. Long continuation above 290 towards 317 and 357. 270 needs to hold, otherwise we are heading back to the 254 and maybe all the way back to 35. AMD on the weekly, 109 is holding, 2 consecutive dojis, which means the 109 is a very important level of support. Below it, this purple trend line will get retested because, as you can see, support, purple trend line helps us to identify the lower highs, the higher lows, sorry. Long continuation above 120 towards 133. Nvidia, 5 weeks, 6 weeks above the 380, but below the 440. Nothing much on Nvidia. Almost 2 months of no movement. Long continuation above 440 towards 666. 380 needs to hold, otherwise 340 and 290 to the downside. Tesla, doji with a gap to the downside. In my opinion, next week this gap will get filled. This purple trend line will get retested before the next leg up. We can take once again Fibonacci swing low, swing high. That will help us to identify, as you can see, a long continuation above 275 towards 324, above it 400. All-time highs. Fibonacci is helping us to identify the future support and resistance for price action, which means also to the downside a support This gap needs to get filled. Below it, 243 and purple trend line is the next support. Amazon, 2 consecutive dojis and the weekly, which means maybe bulls of Amazon are heading back. Retracement, 124 and 119 together with this white trend line as future support. Long continuation above 131 towards 141, 142, and then 155 to the upside. Google, as we can see, since May, we already have 7 consecutive dojis. 118 is the support. Breaking below, we are heading towards the 112. Long continuation above 130 and then 137 and 150 all-time highs. Fibonacci gives us everything that we need. As I said, it's the FSD price action. Swing low, swing high, 116 to the downside, 122 to the upside from support, as you can see. 5 weeks of support. Now, 2 consecutive weeks of resistance. Above it, 130 and then 138 and all-time highs at the 151, 152. Microsoft price action is getting tighter and tighter each and every week that goes by for Microsoft. Let's see, where are we heading? We can take Fibonacci, of course. 334 to the downside, below it 320 and 302. Long continuation above 352 towards, in my opinion, 410 will be next. Let me know in the comments below what do you think about Microsoft, where Microsoft will end 2023. 410, 450, 482, 525, or even 300. Any feedback, any comment, any suggestion will be much appreciated in the comments below. Netflix, 417 to the downside, 450 to the upside. As you can see, all the big names basically in the past 3-4 weeks or so, basically moving sideways. Always zoom out to get a better point of view of price action. If you think the daily, the hourly, the 4 hours are volatile for you, zoom out, go to the weekly, and then you will get a better point of view of price action. Netflix, 470 to the downside. Below it, we are going to retest this yellow trend line. Acts as support for the higher lows since June of 2022. Long continuation above 450, and then we are heading towards 494 and 560 with this trend line to the upside that helps us to identify the higher highs. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please hit a like, subscribe, share with friends, will be much appreciated. Don't forget, only 24 hours left to the big discount, 34% off Fibonacci Traders online program, the only program out there that will transform you to become your own indicator, and lifetime access, support, guidance, all Discord channels. Check the links. Don't miss this opportunity. Until the next video, enjoy the rest of your weekend.